For March's Makeup Month box, I'm going to go a little bit more into depth about each product. So I'm going to show you how I apply it on my face and so forth in the clips. But I have 3 things left off my face because I just felt like showing them to you what they look like. So I have 2 products here from the brand Fourth Ray Beauty. So this is a company that is, I believe it's owned by Colourpop. So this is just like a travel size set here. I have the AM to the PM gel cleanser, and then I have the BFD cleansing oil. Each and every time I use this cleansing oil, my skin, it doesn't feel tight, but it has that, I hate to use this term, that squeaky clean feel. Okay, and now doctors will say, you know, that's not a good sign. That's like your skin stripped of oils. But this, I mean, I can literally, well, I've done it. I've gone out of the shower. I took a white pad. I went like this, and there was no makeup on. So I don't know what it is about this oil, but this oil gets absolutely everything off the face. And I like that squeaky clean feel. Doesn't feel dry or anything. Now, I go in with my skincare after that. However, I have the confidence that everything is off my face. That alone, I'm sold. With the AM to the PM cleanser, I mean, I'm like almost, well, like halfway done with it. I'm just using it up. However, there's nothing really where I'm like, ooh, that's a really good cleanser. You know, it's just, to me, like just that basic cleanser that washes the face. Excuse me. It works good with the Clarisonic, so I have used it in the morning. I've used it at night just to kind of see, you know, which way. It works fine. So this could be something that I can take with me to go travel. I know that I can use it in the morning to wash my face. I can use it at night, you know, as that double cleanse, and it's going to get the job done. Again, my skin doesn't feel tight, nothing. The next item I want to talk about is a skincare product, and this is something that I've already have received a couple samples of this First Aid Beauty product from Sephora, and this is their Ultra Repair BarriAir cream. It's got that little spin on it here, safe for sensitive skin. Now, I picked this out from my Octoly store because I wanted a full size jar of it because that's complimentary, so I didn't have to pay for it. Whenever my skin has some sort of an irritation, something where it's wigging out, and no other cream seems to help with it. It could be some dry patch that just will not heal. It can be, you know, I cut myself, something is going on. I can have a cold and everything, my nose is all, well, actually my nose will actually turn red and start to peel and everything and all around my mouth. Nothing seems to work. The only thing I can pull out is something from First Aid Beauty. Now, I had their other cream, the Ultra Repair cream that was in a larger jar. I had that. Again, same reason. I had that for a while because it was just for like eczema, dry patches. There's just something going on with my skin. And for some reason, this brand's cream is what my skin can react to and start to heal. My son, who's, you know, he's 17, he's shaving now. He was getting irritation on his skin. So I said, let's see if you are like mom, and I'm gonna get you on the cream as well. It would help him not have where he was saying, oh, my skin is hurting, you know, from the shaving. So we're sharing this. If you're someone where you know, you're trying all this stuff and you're like, nothing seems to be working, get a sample of First Aid Beauty's like Ultra Repair cream. Try that one, which is a little bit not as potent, I would say, because it's more of that fluffier texture versus a true rich cream. Try one and see if maybe your skin will react and start to heal. You never know. But that's, you know, it's no frill skincare, and it does have those ingredients that really tend to just calm, soothe, and heal sensitive, or what I would say problematic skin as well. Next up is a face primer. This is from E.L.F. It's their Poreless Putty Primer. Now, this is something that is being quite heavily compared to Tatcha's Dewy, no, I almost said Dewy Skin Mist. What's it called? Silk Canvas. It just flew right out of my head. There's clearly clearly a winner in my eyes, and I feel that it's E.L.F's. Now this is just coming from my experience from using the two, battling them together on my skin. I don't have a lot of texture on my skin. It's very small amount, but where I can see the blur, and I'll be showing you later where I can see it, I could tell which side was Tatcha and which side was E.L.F. So very noticeable. Now with Tatcha's primer, the consistency of it, I wouldn't say is necessarily like the Putty from E.L.F. But when I'm smoothing it in this region here, which will show very fast as far as blurring, the primer from Tatcha is very just, I would say something that's geared more towards like, oh, let me just hydrate your skin, almost like a lotion, versus blur, versus fill in, versus give the illusion that I'm smoothing out your skin and hiding pores. That has been my experience. Now with the Putty from E.L.F, what I like about it is maybe I would say a little bit thinner in texture than Tatcha, just a little bit. Same thing, you know, you can kind of squirrel your little finger in there, and I can warm it up and start to smooth, and I can actually start to see it start to blur and very smooth out my skin. So what I like about the Putty is it actually on my skin, I can see it just go smooth, almost like a canvas. Here we go. I'm smooth, and then start putting something on top. So whatever else I put on top of my skin just works and glides on fine. So from that standpoint, I personally don't see a reason to buy a full size of the Tatcha product when this can give me the same result. I don't have a new foundation to talk about, but I do have a new sponge because we know I love a good sponge. This one is from Wet n Wild, so this is a little pink one, and it's shaped like an egg, and it has a slant on the side. It's quite bouncy. The material feels very soft. It feels, you know, kind of like the Beauty Blender, but not as much as, say, the CVS one that I talked about, the 360 degrees. It's not nearly as soft as that. But, you know, it's kind of up there. For the price, I feel it's a good sponge. I do like the side here that is slanted, so if I want to go in really close up to the tear duct area with the concealer, it works for that. That's pretty much all I would use it for, because I don't use it to bake and to carve and so forth, but it does have, you know, that feature there. Once it is wet, fully saturated, it will grow inside, I think, very fast, very fast. It balloons up. So it's a nice size sponge to work with, and I primarily am working with just pretty much all of this in the bottom part of it, and doing my powder, doing my foundation, whatever I'm doing, it has worked fine. $2.99, $3.99, it's a great price. It does the job. It will blend out foundation, it will blend out concealer. You can, you know, bake with your powder if you do that, because I've used it just to press and pat into powder on my skin, and it's worked fine. I don't bake, but it works fine. There's no disturbance of the makeup, everything blended fine. So I feel for a drugstore sponge, we have another option now, good price. It does the job, and I do like it, so I'll continue, of course, to use it. I have another bronzer. When am I going to stop? I don't know. I said to myself, after this, no more bronzers. Let's see if I can stick to my goal. No more bronzers. Don't tag me anymore when there's bronzers. I don't need to see it. But I had to get this one. I had to get it. This is the Morphe one from their summer collection, the Glamabronze Face and Body Bronzer. Now this comes in 3 shades. I have the darkest shade. It's called Phenom. And this is one giant pan of goodness. Comes with a mirror. This bronzer, it has the, you know, the design, those ridges in it, which goes with the packaging. The ridges and so forth. Sometimes when you have powders, sometimes when I'm using powders that has some sort of design, something in it that can disturb how the powder is dispersed and gets on your brush, and of course how it looks on your face. There's no disturbance at all. It's not too red base. It's not too you know, flat bronze like a brown, or it's not too golden, or it's not too deep and rich. It is just right in the middle. So it's a perfect combination of a nice brown base, golden with like a splash of red thrown in. So it's a great color for darker skin. And I like that, you know, based on the fact there's 3 shades, so it kind of can go and follow and go through all these different undertones in darker skin. So I think that they did a great job on this color. I love the size. Did I already say that? If I didn't, I'm going to say it now. I love the size. You can get a big old brush in, you can swirl it, tap it off, and apply it. It applies smooth on the skin. I don't have any patchiness. I can go on my forehead, you know, where I usually will bronze, you know, down the neck, and it just works perfectly. This is definitely a bronzer I personally would recommend, depending on, you know, if you can fall within the skin tones of, you know, light skin, medium skin, dark. Definitely give it a shot, because I think for the price is right and how big of a pan size you get, it really does the job. And I think it's a beautiful bronzer. Been getting a lot of use out of it. The next one is a highlighter. I got it on the same day that I picked up these other items from Morphe. This is my first time trying one of their actual like powder highlighters. This is their high impact highlighter, and I'm in the shade Mirage. I was watching this in the Ulta store, and I just noticed how blinding it looked on my hand and how smooth it looked too. That was the first thing that I noticed on my hand. And then when I've gone back a couple of times to play with this highlighter, when I would bring my own tools with me and I would apply it onto my cheekbones, and it just lays and it spreads and it just lays flat dry. Or I can, you know, kind of punch it up with, I'll spray onto my sponge or onto a brush, kind of go over again, and it just like melts into the skin. I go, okay, it's a nice looking highlighter. I like it, and I love the shade. It's a shade that I can mix by itself, or I can wear by itself, or I can mix it with other shades too, which is what I like to do. Again, you get a mirror with it, nice flat compact, you know, pretty basic packaging, and the price is right. I have one more highlighter to share. This is from Fenty Beauty. It is the All Over Diamond Veil. And how many carats? I had to get this. I had to get this, and I am so happy I did. I don't even want to say glitter, because it's not something where I see it like all over the place like glitter. It is something where it's fine. It's like fine little sparkles, like just like dust, like feather little dust going around. That's what it reminds me of. I believe this is the only shade, is How Many Carats. This is something that I specifically use to oomph a highlighter up. So what I'll do is I'll put on a regular highlighter, but then I like to put this kind of in the back. So that way when you just move, it's just like bing, bing. I mean, I pull it down just a little bit, but not too much, because I don't want it all over here. Just a little bit up there, or just a little bit right here. Or I put it on, you know, the lip area. I'll mix it in with the lipstick. I'll brush it on my legs for night. I'll put it on my, you know, my chest here and on my shoulders. I mean, especially at night. I went to Target one time, just real quick. I mean, I was like, what is that? What is that? People have even said, oh, it looks like there's like little sparkle, like little dust there. This attracts people. I mean, it is. It's like little tiny little diamonds, like little dust. So the glitter is very, it's so fine, but it really does add that oomph that I like. It's just that little bit of extra-ness, and I really love this. I can't be without this. This is something that I already know I need to take it with me. Like when I'm traveling, I got to make sure this is with me, because if I feel in the mood to amp it up, I can do that. But I also use it a lot. Like today, I just have it in the tear duct, so I'll figure some way to have this on my body. It's beautiful. But again, I feel you have to like that little bit of oomph. You have to like the glitter and the sparkles and stuff. If you're not into that, you're worried about it getting all over the place, you won't like it. Now I'm going to move on to a blush product. This is from the brand Collab. This is something that you can pick up over at Sally's Beauty. This Chatty is a shade that is definitely me. It's that, you know, rose, dark rose mauve shade that looks beautiful on my skin tone. And it's a beautiful blush. Wear it alone. It's a blush that I can mix in with other colors, and it looks really good. So I've worn it quite a few times. If you look in the info box where I have my makeup worn, 9 times out of 10, this one is in there. This blush is very easy to apply. It blends well. There's no patchiness, so I really do enjoy this blush. Based on this product and another item I have in here from Collab, now I'm kind of looking at them because I'm noticing I'm starting to like what I'm using from that brand. So stay tuned. Now, moving on to eyeshadows. This is my next Morphe product to show you. The same day I picked up the bronzer, I picked up the 35G Bronze Goals. This is just so annoying to me, but the little plastic insert. So I always tape it up here so I can see the name of the colors, because you know they can't be bothered just to type it in here. I mean, that's, you know, just so much of a trouble to do. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, there's 10 mattes in here. This is what I do. I build up my mattes in my crease. I'm a big build up person because it just creates that beautiful, you know, gray, that fade in the eye. So for me, I was excited to see already a lot of the color story with the mattes kind of go into that line. There's stories attached to every little quad, or at least that's how I see it. So you're able to, if you look at it close enough, you're able to see the color stories and how they kind of work together. That's how I pick apart a palette that's this large when you're thinking about what the heck am I going to do. I've used all the mattes all together, all of them, build light to dark, had fun blending them out. They blend fine, except for this one here I don't really touch because it's got sparkle in it and I can't stand those shades. But other than that, they're fine. They work great. So there you go. You can hit pan on all your mattes because you're using them all up together, build them up, and then just pick what shimmer you want. Where do you want to go? Do you want to go yellow? Do you want to go more pink base? You want to go raspberry tone? You want to go more bluish, black, smoky? You have options for that. And then of course your tear duct as well. So it's a great palette. Once I started to really look at it and see the possibilities in this, this is all you would need. If you're a neutral lover, warm tones, this is something you can just take and have everything in it. That's my experience with it. Next up is mascara. So I have two here. I have one from Collab and then I have one from CoverGirl. So CoverGirl sent me their Exhibitionist mascara and I have it in very black. This and the waterproof version. I don't like it. I don't like this mascara at all. This is something where the wand is, it's curved where it's like up here a little bit bigger and then it swoops down in the middle and then it goes up. It collects so much product on this wand, but it's not so much as there's so much on the top. There's a lot that's collected and gathered up here when you pull it out, and there's a lot of it left still on the bristles. Now for someone with short, barely there lashes of my own, I don't like that because it instantly can get clumpy. So it's clumpy and it's just like staying there. It's not giving me any length. It's not giving me any thickness. It's giving me just too much of the product. And I just don't want to be cleaning too much of it out. So I'm not trying the waterproof. I just went ahead and donated it. And I'm talking about this now, but this isn't something I want to deal with again. So I'm just going to count my losses. Well, I didn't have to pay for it, but I'm just going to toss it because it's just not something I don't want to deal with it when I try it on. I'd rather use something else. And that one I'd rather use is this mascara from Collab that I picked out. Same day that I picked out, what was the blush that one day. This is called the Bomb. This is the Explosive Valium Mascara. And it says it boosts the lash volume. This one is where it's at. This has the bristles that go higher right in the middle. So it's catching those little lashes and just going right up. It's also not gathering too much product. I mean, there's barely any that's on the end of the brush, barely any grabbed around the container here. And it's slightly curved. We're talking just slightly bent, okay? And it is coating my lashes, it's separating them, and there's no clumps in sight. So I can build up and build up and build up and no clumps in sight. I love how this separates and I love the length that it's giving me. Now this isn't something where I feel that it's false lash look, but this is something where, you know, if you're comfortable not wearing false lashes. I know that's still very popular right now. This is something where it's going to give you the length and it's going to give you that volume. Okay, it's not really super thickening, but I can go with the length and I can go with the volume and leave the thickness for last. So I do like this, and washes clean, easy, call it a day. Next up is a liquid lipstick. I never thought I would ever pick up a liquid lipstick from Marc Jacobs, but I did. This was during their weekly wows, so it was heavily discounted, like 50% off. And I picked out Hot Cocoa. So this is the one I feel that is a little bit, definitely a lot more flattering for me. This is for us who wants to wear a liquid lipstick. So we have those properties of it, but it's comfortable. It doesn't feel tight. It doesn't feel dry. It doesn't migrate off the lips, but it doesn't dry all the way down, but then it stays on the lip. How he got that formula down, I don't know. I can honestly now say that this is the formula that I really like, because when I'm thinking of, okay, what am I going to wear lipstick wise, I keep reaching for this because it reminds me of like I'm using a bullet lipstick. It reminds me that I'm using also a liquid lipstick. It's giving me that hybrid of both of them together, with sometimes at the beginning a little bit of shine. We're talking just a tiny bit, but I'm not after that. You know, I'm not looking for something like that. I think because it doesn't dry all the way down and it's still giving me that good wear time, but I can also reapply it. That's another thing. Reapply it again, like in the middle of the day, and it doesn't look all goopy and nasty with rings. This is incredible. And it's like, you know, I feel like I got to go through several formulas until I can find something where like, I really like that version. This, to me, coming from someone that's like, no dryness, no dryness, no overly matte. This is my favorite. This is what I enjoy. So it is something I notice is on sale on the Sephora site, but all the shades except for one is gone. So if you can find them in your stores, who knows, maybe he's changing it. It's something I would even pay full price for. And that takes a lot for me to say that. I like to pay full price for nothing. Something else I like, Morphe. This is a lip gloss. This is in the shade Pixie. I definitely wanted to try this out because I just have been hearing good things about their lip glosses. So that's actually what I wanted to put on right now. What I've been enjoying with this shade Pixie. Pixie is a shade that reminds me of WeHo. If you wore Colourpop's Ultra Glossy Lip in the shade WeHo, this is WeHo. You can just put it on top of whatever you already have on, and it just gives that nice sheen. Just a nice sheen to the lips. It's not overly glossy. That's what I like about it. But the fact that it just reminds me of Colourpop WeHo. It reminds me of Victoria's Secret's gloss back in the day called Wet. That was the shade, Wet. That's what it reminds me of. So I feel like I have those two favorites of mine back. What I don't like is this packaging. This is the packaging that could, like, I mean, you can kill somebody with this because of this jagged cuts, hard edges. It's kind of, you got to be careful with it. Certainly don't keep this around your baby. No. A simple little sleek, something simple would have done. I would have done that. And then the last lip gloss is Colourpop, of course. So Juicy Plumping Gloss. Now I picked out only one shade. That's the only one I want. I just wanted to try one. I didn't want to go crazy. This is in the shade Beachwood. So I wanted something that was good, you know, for every day. So I'm going to put it on right now on top of the Morphe to show you. This gloss is exactly what it's named. Juicy. I just need a little bit. And I mean that shine. The shine is strong. And it has that mint taste to it. I love it. Oh, that's that plumpness. Now, I don't mind stuff that plumps because even though I don't need it for my lips are naturally large, Okay, the bigger the better. I have my whole lips around my whole face if I can have them that big. The last item that I'm going to try on, because I'm going to show you in person, I've gotten quite a few questions about it. I thought that there was something on my lens, so sorry. But also, it's something that I notice a lot of people in comments are like, I don't know how to use it. I don't know how to use it. So it is something I recommended also to pick out from the Sephora VIB sale. So this is from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Airbrush Flawless Finish Complexion Perfecting Microfine Powder. Really long title. This is also another little tiny little product from Sephora, and so small that I remember for a good week I was trying to find this, and it had rolled underneath a piece of furniture. So this is just, you got to be careful with these tiny little products. I mean, I don't even know why it even has a mirror in it. It's so incredibly tiny. Now this is a shade 3. This is dark. Am I surprised that it arrived with that word dark on it? No, because that's Charlotte Tilbury for you. Her colors are not necessarily, I feel, accurately named, but it is what it is. On my skin tone, it is something that just fades in. I think because it has more of that golden tone to it, warmer, that it works for me. I feel if you run more towards the neutral side, you might have a problem where it's going to run more like ashier on you. It's not going to work. I'm not sure how this powder is marketed by the brand. I have not looked it up. So I'm just going to show you how I use it. It is something where, you know, you can use it as a blurring powder. You can maybe use it to set your concealer underneath your eyes. You can use it, let's say you don't wear foundation or whatnot. You just want something to dust all over your face. That's the beauty with makeup. You make your rules how you want to use it. If it works for you in that situation and your everyday routine, then use it. You don't have to go exactly by what it states. You know, break the rules. I don't go directly by whatever it states. I'm going to use it the way I want to. And this brush, lo and behold, fits in here. And it's only because it's pointed at the tip. And that's why I like to use a brush like this with this powder. So even with the full size, when I get the full size, I just go right in on the flat side of the brush, but at the top. Just kind of dust it off like that. And then I usually always start up here on my forehead, but I only go right here in the center. I don't go all over, okay? Then I just kind of brush down on my nose. Then I go back into the powder, you know, tap it off. And then I go right here on my chin, but then I kind of pull it up like that. So just really as that finisher, just, you know, kind of helps smooths everything together. And I don't feel you need a lot of this product at all. You don't. I personally don't feel you do. So I go into it about, I notice 3 times. So then I just go like that. Now when I want to go into this region right here, which is where I want any type of blurriness to occur, I just go like this. Okay, so see, it doesn't disrupt the highlighter there. Just kind of mattifies a little bit in that region and just smooths it out. And then the last time, so this is actually the 3rd time I lied. No, 4th time, excuse me. And same thing underneath. I'll do it right here in the viewfinder. See? So, I mean, wherever you feel you want to kind of blur, it could just be only in your T-zone. It can be all over. You know, the sky's the limit. Or you can just go all over your face. Just depends on what you want to do. Again, you know, it's your face. However you want to put it into your routine, you know, you do you. But that's how I use it. And see how number 3 it just blends right into my skin. There's no white cast, there's no weird color to it. It just smooths everything out in a way that I'm like, yeah, I get the hype. I get the hype. I can see it. I can really see it. It looks beautiful. This is the powder that's like up there with like the Hourglass Ambient powders, with the Becca Blur powder. It's right up there. I think the price is right too for the size that you get. You know, even if you're using it every day, I think it's worth it. I feel it's worth it. Worth the hype, it's worth the price, and it's definitely something I recommend. It was in the Sephora recommendations as well video. And that's it. The box is empty. That's all. So let me know if you have tried any of these products yourself. What do you think about them? Sound off in the comment. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. As always, I do appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, and as always, I'm going to see you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.